Welcome back to Studio 39, aka the Bear Cave. I'm Rob Odie. This is Spotlight 39. Just like we do every time, we got another young man. He's got another story to share. Before we get into it, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, dropping new content, new stories every single day. Comment down below. Tell us who you want to have on the show. Whose highlights do you want me to watch? Let's blow this thing up. Make sure you give that thumbs up. As corny as that sounds, man, that's what makes these things blow up. So let's do that. Let's get the exposure out there. Let's get these stories out there. But enough about all that, man. This is about you and your story. So tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and we'll go from there. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. My name's Cade Rice. I'm from Springfield, Ohio. I currently go to Northmont High School. I was a three-star quarterback rated by 24/7 Sports Composite. I'm 6'3", 210 pounds, and played football since first grade.
Playing football since first grade, so pretty much your entire life, right?
Yep, pretty much. Age of 6, age of 7.
That is fantastic. So lots of knowledge in the game. I would imagine highly sought after, especially being rated like you were with 247 Sports. So let's uh let's get into all that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about football in your football season, right? Being in
Yep.
Ohio, I don't believe you got to play some football. Actually, I believe you did get to play football.
Yeah.
So yeah, so talk to me a little bit of how your season went. What went well for you, right? First and foremost, and then ultimately, what did you learn from the season? What are you going to put focus on during the off season to prepare for the next level?
Yeah, so it was a very successful season for us at Northmont. We went 8-0, got all the way to third round of the playoffs, which we unfortunately had to forfeit that game due to COVID protocols. We had a couple positive cases, but yeah, we were looking really good. We were 8-0, had a big win against Springfield, who ended up going to the Final Four. And, that was when we really figured out that we could be really good this
Awesome.
season. And, but yeah, unfortunate how it ended up coming to an end, so
Yeah, for
abruptly.
sure.
And, we were definitely getting things rolling as we had been all season. We had some comeback wins late, with, 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, stuff like that. So it was an incredible year, but yeah, we were sad to see it come uh, to an end like the
Yeah,
way it
man.
did. But
So with all the
we were
success,
definitely,
yeah, I was gonna say with all the success, man. Like, what specifically went well for you? Did you find yourself, throwing it a little further? Did you gain some arm strength, from the last year? Did you run it, a little differently? What went well for you? Like, what did you learn from this season?
yeah, well, with COVID, over the off season, summer and everything, I had so much time on my hands, not being able to go to camps and stuff like that, visits, things like that I wanted to, go to. Definitely got bigger and stronger, faster. Obviously, I transferred from Greenon High School, so a lower level school in Ohio, to Division I Northmont in
Okay.
Clayton, Ohio. So it was a big jump, but I knew I would be ready, and I knew that the work I put in the off season would have me prepared for it. So yeah, we ended up going 8-0, like I said, and one of the things that stood out to me was that just my reads across the field and everything, I was able to slow the game down, with that experience that I had being a senior this past year. That was just the main thing. I was able to read defenses and just slow the game down and keep that internal clock in my head to get the
There
ball out of
you
my
go.
hands or, take off and run with it whenever I needed to.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, you're already speaking next level ball, right? I like it. So, with all that, what are you going to put on, what do you put in focus to really better your craft and perfect it that much more going into D1 football?
Yeah, from a football aspect, uh, really anything, as a quarterback, you try to fine tune all parts of your game and just combine them all into one. And for me, that starts with leadership and being the best teammate I can be. You want the guys to be looking to you, when it's crunch time. And I like to be that guy that leads the whole team, coming up when there's those big moments when we need to play late in the game. Who am I going to find? Who's going to, because we had several situations this year where I was finding different guys late in the game and crucial parts of the game and on game-winning touchdown passes and stuff like that. So, as a quarterback, I think you can never stop improving any and all parts of your game.
Sure.
So I just try to work on each and every single part, maybe in bits and pieces, or certain days I'll focus on one thing at a time and then work my way towards another. But, the greatest quality a quarterback can have is competitive spirit. And that's basically what I'm wired as. I'm the most competitive person on the field, and I look at it that way each and every single game.
Man, that's pretty darn well put, man. Um, they're going to be very lucky to have you in their locker room. That's super exciting. You represent yourself incredibly well. I just need to throw that out there. But nonetheless, man, let's talk about the recruiting process, man. Like ultimately, you're committed to South Dakota State, right? You're going to be a Jackrabbit. They've got a fantastic program. I was actually fortunate enough to see them play a few years ago when Dallas Goedert was their star tight end, right? And they went and they played James Madison University at JMU. I happened to be there with Darius, who was the whole reason behind the platform of Spotlight 39. But we were there on a recruiting visit, and I got to see the Jackrabbits play firsthand, which was pretty cool, right? And then here we are now. Now I get to have a full blown conversation with a Jackrabbit signee, not just the commit, right? So let's talk about the recruiting process, and let's talk about let's kind of rewind the clock and let's talk about when it started for you. So what point in your high school career was that breakthrough moment when that thing happened that got you your first either phone call, tweet, DM, coach conversation, whatever that looked like for you? Let's walk through that process.
Yeah, so it was probably about, I think, so I remember the day. It was May 15th, 2020. I had just got done, working out in my basement setup at my house in Springfield before I moved. And I got this Twitter message from the O-line coach at Illinois State. And I hadn't heard from them since probably sophomore year. And that was just, first getting in touch, giving them background information, things like that. But I got a Twitter message from the O-line coach there, Coach Etheridge. And he pretty much told me that they were really impressed with my film and everything, and that they were going to offer me, which, it kind of came to me as a surprise because it was kind of out of nowhere. I hadn't talked to these guys leading up to that day, really at all since sophomore year. So it was kind of a surprise, but at the same time with COVID and everything, I kind of figured that offers were going to be, coming out. Cause that was really like my first moment, first breakthrough moment, like you said, in recruiting. I had real interests and, heavy interest from schools like MAC schools and Conference USA schools like that. But with COVID and everything, I just couldn't visit some of those schools, and, I couldn't get to some of those D1 FBS schools, which is fine. I'm blessed to be in the position I am right now. I'm thankful to be a Jackrabbit. But so Illinois State, that was the first breakthrough moment. It kind of came out of nowhere through a Twitter message.
Okay, so Illinois State came through at Twitter, right? And then once that happened, I'm going to assume that that was probably a confusing but life-changing moment, right? You probably were like,
absolutely,
man, like, wow, somebody actually wants me to be a part of what they've got going on. So it probably clicked that,
right.
Hey, what I'm doing, I can actually do at the next level and not have to worry about paying for college, right? So when you when you got that first blessing from Illinois State, did additional offers come through, or did they kind of trickle here or there, or was it just Illinois State and then South Dakota State and then commit? Fill in the gaps there for us.
Yeah, so it was Illinois State, and then I got the prestigious Bucknell University offer right after that, and then it was Bryant University, and then it was Elon, and then it was Rhode Island.
Okay.
And then it was there's another one, can't think of it right now, but I mean they kind of followed one another.
Yep.
not too much time in between the first two offers. So the Bucknell one came, pretty soon after the Illinois State one.
Okay.
And then I got Bryant shortly after that one. But yeah, it was definitely a big relief getting that first offer, not having to pay for college and everything like that.
Yeah. So at what point did
And,
South Dakota State come at what point did they come calling?
so when they came calling, it was late during the regular season this year. It was probably about week 5, maybe week 4. And
Okay.
we had a 6-week regular season. So it was kind of late during the regular season, but I got in touch with the quarterback coach, Coach Lujan. And that was basically how it kickstarted. One of our assistants at Northmont, the wide receiver coach and / quarterback coach, basically had coached with Coach Erickson over at South Dakota State at
Okay.
University of Wisconsin-Platteville.
So that was where that kind of was the bridge between you and them, right? And then
Yep.
you got the opportunity. Now was that when you got the opportunity from South Dakota State, was that like bam, that's it, that's where I'm going, or did you take some time and really consider the other opportunities that were in front of you as well?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how it happened. I mean, as soon as I got the chance to get in touch with South Dakota State, I really started thinking about, why I wanted to go there. And, it didn't take long for me to figure out that it was a great school, a great blend of academics and athletics, and also could a potential bridge to the NFL. It was always my goal in life to make it to the collegiate level, the highest level. So, that was always my dream. But if I can make a living on playing in football, that's my next
It's an
goal
added
now.
bonus,
So,
right?
but yeah, I kind of knew. So I first got in touch with Coach Lohan. It was late September, I think. And then I got the offer, which was kind of crazy how it happened. So he told me not even 24 hours prior to the offer that they wouldn't be giving me the scholarship and that they were going with another guy.
Really?
But things didn't work out. And apparently that guy wasn't the guy for them. And he called me not even 24 hours later and told me that he was giving me the full ride. And then,
So how
I
did
had
that
already
conversation come
done.
back? Hold on, I'm gonna pause you there. I'm just curious on, so he calls you and says, "Look, man, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there's another guy that we're gonna move forward with, right?" So it's like a job interview. So you didn't get the job offer, but then less than 24 hours later, he calls back and was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, but we want you now." So like, how did that conversation like? How did he backtrack? I'm just curious how that happened.
Well, he just called me and said basically that's not our guy. He's not the type of guy that I like coaching. I mean, when he called me, I was so like excited I couldn't even let everything out. It was kind of surreal,
Sure.
I didn't expect that to happen at all.
Yeah.
That was even more of a shock than the first offer that I got. So yeah, it was just a surreal moment. And that day I knew that I was going to commit, and I ended up committing maybe 45 to an hour later
Oh, really? So
after the
so
phone
it was
call.
pretty much instant. Like, no disrespect to the ones
Oh yeah,
before. I appreciate what they did. I appreciate them having me, but at the same time,
hmm
this is where I want to call home, right?
absolutely.
And that's pretty remarkable, man. So congratulations. Super excited to watch you play on some Saturdays, man. Look, I got my Flow Sports, I got my ESPN, plus, subscription, so I'll be able to catch a game. Hopefully,
Yep.
the Jackrabbits, make it to the postseason and it gets televised. I'm excited to watch you play some football, my man, and hopefully, you Maine gets to cross paths while you're playing because I'll be there. Just throwing that out there.
All
But
right. Yeah,
anyway,
sounds good. I can't wait myself.
so look, man, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm not gonna close it out. We didn't talk about who you are as a person, man. We got caught up in the whole fun part of the recruiting process. Let's talk about who you are as a person, man. Tell us who you are outside of the game. When you're not playing, working out, any of that good stuff. Who are you? What do you like to do? What are you involved with?
Yeah, so really much pretty much during the school year, I'm doing nothing but, sports and preparing, for football or whatever the next sport I'm doing is. So this year I'm doing track for the first time. I
Nice.
didn't play basketball, which was the first time I didn't play basketball in a long time. I was kind of just training, getting bigger and faster, stronger. Trying to get ready for that next level. So that's what I've been doing all winter.
Very cool.
And track season's coming up pretty soon, March 1st. So I'm going to be doing that. But I'm going to also start throwing more as it gets warmer. So I'm going to be throwing at least 4 times a week.
That's cool, man.
But
when you're not
me
doing all of
outside
that,
of
man, yeah, when you're not doing that, man, what are you doing, man? You play video games? Do you listen to a lot of music? Do you are you a shopper? Do you like animals? Like I've had some pretty interesting
yeah.
findings.
So really, when it's not school year and it's the summertime, I like to play golf a lot. It's kind
Okay.
of more of a hobby for me. My mom lives in Florida, so I go down there and I fish in the sea. I like to do a lot of that stuff. I'm not really much of a hunter, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Going on a first hunting trip sometime, maybe
Yeah.
over in Brookings. But
I'll say, boy, you're gonna have the
I like to
opportunity out
fish.
there.
Oh, absolutely, and it's hunting season all year round, pretty much over there. So,
Yeah.
but when I go down to Florida, I'm doing stuff like that. I'm playing golf, going fishing. I got uncles and stuff that live over there, so I go fish with them too. So that's really what I do like in the summertime when I'm not preparing for a season. But when late summer rolls around, I'm preparing for football, of course. So
There you go. Good deal, man. So
but
look,
football is pretty much my life, so that's what I do.
yep. Now, as you should, right? Super passionate about it. Very good at what you do. You represent yourself incredibly well. So I think the future is incredibly bright for you. Super excited to watch it unfold. Like I said, so let's do this, man. I've taken up a lot of your time, and I appreciate you, scrolling through history and bringing us full circle with your recruiting process. But let's close it out with the same question I do every single time, and that's what motivates and what drives you to want to wake up tomorrow and be that much more successful than you were today.
Yeah, so pretty much I've always said that my greatest talent is my desire to be great. I want to be the greatest to ever play. That type of thing. It sounds kind of cliche, but I want to be the greatest to ever play. Um, but I also want to be remembered as a great teammate and a great person first and foremost. It's always about how do you want to be remembered? That's the type of question I ask myself, and I want to be remembered as a great person, great teammate, and just a great family person. Family's real big for me, and when you don't have anything else, you always have family. So
Look, man, very well put. Like I said, you represent yourself incredibly well. I'm going to wish you nothing but the best. Stay safe, stay healthy. Continue to do what you do, and like I said, hopefully our paths will cross. At some point. But until then, let's stay in contact. Let's run this back throughout your career. I'm Rob Odie. This was Spotlight 39. Until next time, I appreciate you.